Hey, what's up guys? I've got a Mercedes-Benz EQS here with me today, and I want to walk you through some of the immediate tech features that you can come to expect when you enter this cabin. This car has loads of technology everywhere you look. It can be a bit overwhelming, so in this video I want to go over some of the ones that you can easily get comfortable with and begin to use immediately as you enter this beautiful, amazing looking cabin. But you've got a blind spot monitor there that will keep an eye on any cyclist, any passing traffic. It will alert you, and it can also light up this light here. Seat adjustments here. You've got your heated seats, and then you've got your ventilated seats as well. And the last button here is used when you press it like that, you can then start to adjust the passenger seats. So the front passenger seat, your door controls here, and then you've got your folding mirror. So if you press that automatically folds the mirrors, as you can see, and you can use these here to individually adjust the mirrors, which you probably don't want. You don't have to click on this to adjust the mirrors. You can just look at the mirror and start adjusting it with this button here, and the car will automatically, it will know that, oh, you want to adjust that mirror, right? And it will start adjusting it for you, so you don't even have to click on these buttons here to switch. That is that section here. In the door panel, you have obviously this lovely steering wheel. It feels really nice, really good quality. And then what you then have here is obviously your cruise control. Obviously you've got your speed limiter, the distance for the cruise, the reserve, and also your set, which you can just easily just press any of them to activate your cruise control, and then the cancel to deactivate it. You can use the brakes to also trigger the same function if you want to disengage the cruise control. And then all the buttons here are actually there so that you can move between your gauge cluster menus, and if you swipe up, it will switch to your heads-up display. As you can see up there, you can control what you want to see on there. So that's what that is for, and obviously you can just back out just like that. Okay, and then on this side you have a couple of features here. So this button here you can use, this is like your functions that you can map it to. So you can, once you press it, you get this menu here. You can just go add a favorite. Yeah, it's a favorite button, and you can literally, there are loads of functions in here that you can map it to. So when you're driving, you just press it once and it's going to load whatever you mapped it to. So it's quite useful, and all cars should really have this. Making phone calls, buttons here. You've got your voice assistant, which, surprise, is actually very capable. It's more capable than you think. You can ask it off-topic things. So it has this AI integration, which is pretty cool. And then the upper section here, these are used to control the main infotainment. And then obviously you've got your drive modes using this lever here, which I think is a better integration, and the quality on that is really nice. Look at that, it's amazing. And then you've got this is just standard really. Down here you've got your light mode here as well, and then next to it you've got your parking brake, which I think Mercedes can really get rid of it, because you can use this here. So on this you can press that to then park the vehicle. And then you also have these paddles, which again feels unbelievable. I mean, like, do you hear that? So moving on to the main infotainment, obviously you've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It is all wireless, which is amazing. You can plug in the cable if you wanted to, but wireless is a lot easier. You've got your drive modes here. You've got sport, individual, eco, and comfort, right? And you can switch between them like that. And then if you press this is for the self parking. It also gives you access to the 360 view camera, which is pretty cool. You can see all around the car. And then you've got your charging setting menu. Also, when you press on the EQ button here, it gives you access to a lot of information, maybe not as much as I'm used to with other brands like Tesla. I think Tesla gives you even more detailed technical information. This one, yes, is good enough. It gives you almost everything you need, but you may end up having to do some calculations yourself. Car here, button here, It gives you access to these extra functions where you can activate or deactivate the heads-up display, and you've got your lane keep assist also here that you can turn, toggle if you wanted to, steering wheel assist, and other features. If you want to turn off the interior alarm, this is where you do it. Also, raising the suspension up and down, you will find it here. Just bear in mind that the suspension raising it up and down, it's a bit slow. So if you come to a bump, you need to raise the vehicle. Just be mindful that it takes, I think it takes about 30 seconds for it to fully come up. But once you do it once, you can save it, and then you've got loads of other options when you click on that. Under the assistance, you've got driving, and you've got some options here like speed adjustments, active distance assist, active steering assist. So yeah, you have all this information here for the driving. Collision avoidance system also has these features here that you can toggle on and off. The active brake assist, this feature, I have a love and hate relationship with it. Got traffic sign assist, traffic light view. So this can be useful. So what it does is when you have it on and you come to a stoplight, it will pop up this extra camera view feed. And what that allows you to achieve is it will switch to the cameras on the vehicle and look at the traffic light. So when they go green, obviously it will show green. Sometimes you arrive at a light, you're looking down, maybe doing something in this compartment here, or you're on your phone, and then the light goes green and you have it right there, right? And yes, don't go on your phone whilst you're driving. So camera, obviously you can open the camera cover. This is for reversing, and also you can set it up for GPS. And then under parking, you've got extra features here as well. And yes, you can do remote parking assist from your phone. One of the areas where I would like to see improvement from Mercedes, the remote parking assist system is just overly cumbersome. It's too much what you have to do to park the vehicle, especially when you're outside and you're using your phone to do the parking. It can be better. It can be better. Features, and then you've got even more features here under the vehicle. This is a cool one. You can control the type of noise you want to hear when you accelerate. I always have that turned off, but if you want that experience, you can have that turned on. GPS based raising, when you arrive at a certain location and you raise the vehicle up, it will bring up a menu if you want to be reminded next time. And this is this is the setting here to have that. And then yeah, creep mode is always good. It gives you this, so when you're parking, this can actually be useful, where you put it in reverse and the vehicle will start to roll back. You put it forward and it will start to roll forward automatically without you having to do so much with the pedals. So I think it's useful when it comes to parking especially. And then lights, this is where you can turn on your digital, like the projections, for example. You can have them configured and things like that. And there's the headlights in this car, they are unbelievable. And then you've got extra interior light features here as well. You've got the ambient light, which you've got the brightness here, you've got the effects, and obviously the color, which they're a combination. You can do multicolor or you can do monochrome, which is my preference. If you do multicolor, then yeah, this is how it looks like. So you get different shades of color like that. Got system, yeah, here just extra information. Like if you go on a display, for example, you can control the brightness of the screen, and also you can adjust the brightness for the gauge cluster. Yeah, so just extra system information pretty much. Since I've owned the vehicle, there hasn't been any software updates, so the updates are not as frequent as you have with the competition like Tesla, which this vehicle directly competes with. That's the infotainment and some of the things that I thought I show you. Your climate, regardless of whatever is going on the screen, you always have access to it, which is pretty cool. You don't lose access to it, so that is always nice to have around all the time. This fingerprint reader is very accurate, very, very reliable. I'm very pleased with how it works. And then you can use this to obviously turn off the display. or just, you know, reboot the whole infotainment system, which is quite convenient. And then you've got the mute button there. You've got this volume adjust. It's touch sensitive. You can swipe across like that, back and forth like that, or you can just press it. This screen here is OLED, so the blacks are deep blacks. You don't get this reflection in the dark areas. Like you see the dark areas here, you see this gray in the dark areas. Yeah, that is what OLED improves on. It's just all really, you know, you get infinite contrast, which is amazing. Even this gauge cluster here is still pretty nice, and obviously very clear. It gives you all the information you need. It gets the job done. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to show you down here because it's a bit messy in there. You've got wireless charger there where my AirPods is, and then you've got 2 USB-C in this as well. I think you've got 2 down here as well. And then just where this section here, this compartment down here, you've got additional 2 USB-C there, if I remember correctly. There aren't any USB-A in this cabin. It's all USB-C. The 12 volts socket is somewhere down there. This is where you'd go and access it. In the doors, obviously, you've got for the passenger, again, depending on which trim you end up getting. Let me just zoom in. You will have access to cooled seats and heated seats, and also the memory function. I think the base model EQS doesn't have the cooled seats and also the massaging, so you will need at least the exclusive luxury or the business class model to have access to that. But I do think that they all come with this lovely, really soft, really nice headrest cushions. And then you've got at the back as well, as you can see. So yeah, this is all really, really nice. And then you also have, you know, look at that decoration. You have access to your interior lights, which when you turn on, the cabin looks pretty nice. And then this is where you open and close the panoramic sunroof. It's also sensor sensitive. I don't find it reliable, but oh, it's working. Look, you just open up and you can stop it like that, and then obviously you can just swipe forward like that, and it closes. I think Mercedes did a great job, especially with the build quality. I know, yes, there are some areas that could do with quality upgrade, like the air vents. They feel a little bit plasticky. Just looking at the back as well, so you've got heated seats, and again, depending on which trim you end up with, you can have seat adjustments there as well. You can have screens at the back here. You can have massaging and ventilation on top of the heated seats for the seats, right? And you can even spec it to have the screen at the back. When you bring down that middle section, right, you can have a tablet there. I think the newer models, the business class and the lower trim versions, you just have like wireless charging, access to wireless charging when you bring that middle section down.